Hola chiquetes, ¿cómo estáis? Bienvenidos a un capítulo más del Forgotten City. Estamos justo donde lo dejamos, en el infierno, parte egipcia. Así que, ojo, cuidado. ¿Con qué podemos encontrar por aquí? Un muro invisible, por lo que veo. Es agua verde que no nos deja pisar, por si acaso es ácido, o porque igual hay un muro invisible. Barricadas. Unas barricadas deterioradas. Parecen que estos sumerios intentaron defenderse de algo. A todo esto, no he mirado exactamente la tablilla, la cuarta. Ah, la sumeria. Es una placa sumeria. Claro, es una placa con una inscripción cuneiforme que reza Nergal el Fiero. Algo sumerio. Vale. ¿Entonces lo egipcio era más arriba o qué? Estás indicando por allá, pero oye. Ahí hay más barricadas. ¿Me estáis mirando todo, Dios? Está saliendo agua de ahí. Una gran roca redonda que parece que ha rodado hasta el muro y lo ha tirado abajo, causando que el agua se salga. Todo esto es el río. Lógicamente, pero... Ojo, ¿eh? Si hay huella por aquí. Losa de piedra. Vale, modo lectura. No, lo podemos ver así. Desconocido, presta atención a las últimas palabras de Namkuzu. Sé testigo de las consecuencias que estamos sufriendo y llora por nosotros. Hicimos todo lo posible por vivir como querían los dioses. Plantábamos y cosechábamos juntos, compartíamos pan y cerveza. Aceptábamos a los recién llegados con los brazos abiertos, como si fueran parte de la familia, pero con cada recién llegado los vínculos de nuestra familia sufrían. Y pronto nos convertimos en extraños para los demás, y cuando esos vínculos terminaron por romperse, mis hermanos y hermanas ya no plantaban más que para sí mismos, y comían y bebían solos. Y fue allí, en ese espacio vacío, que nos separaba, donde se enraizó el pecado. Los centinelas de Nergai se han despertado y claman en nuestras... Y claman en nuestras, ¿vale? ¿Lo puedo coger? A mí. Señor, tranquilícese. El rollo es que aquí no hay enemigos. ¿No queréis que pase por aquí? Es una movida esto. Por aquí no se puede tampoco, supongo. Pero ya al fondo hay algo. Esto... ¿Está subiendo el agua o...? Por si acaso voy a darme prisa. Va a haber más trampitas entonces. Es mo, no es... O sea, lo verde esto es mo... A ver, placas... Una placa sumeria en escritura cuneiforme cuya traducción es: los pecados de uno se convertirán en el sufrimiento de muchos. Vaya. Barricadas. O sea, al final se prepararon para intentar evitar a los... Tengo que hacerlo. Romperá esta roca que tirará hacia allá adelante, pero no sé si... Mira. Hombre, yo creo que el camino es para allá, pero vamos a ver aquí. Podemos forzarla, ¿sabes? No sé. ¿La activamos también? Cae más agua, pero tampoco es que sea exagerado. Tira para adelante. Y ahí hay algo. Este no me apetece pisarlo, por si acaso. Uy.
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not a prediction. That was a promise. You will die here.
No hace falta que esto acabe con violencia.
I disagree. I warned you against coming down here, against perpetuating this sacrilege. But you
Le pasa algo al modelado de este
have
personaje, ¿verdad?
undermined and dishonored the true god of the underworld. How did you think this would end, if not with bloodshed?
Tú escúchame.
Very well, I will listen. But if I sense deception, or if you further insult my gods, I will carry out my threat. So tell me, why should I let you live after you salvaged this instrument of blasphemy?
Si se puede destruir algo con la verdad, entonces merece ser destruido. No hay nada malo en construir sobre los edificios de otros que vivieron antes que tú. Solo intento devolver las placas que han robado el obelisco profanado. Y esta es la verdad realmente, ¿no? Pero bueno.
Why? To what end?
Espero que eso me conceda una audiencia con el dios del inframundo.
But why? What business could you have with Osiris?
Yo le voy a decir la verdad. Voy a enfrentarme a él por lo de la regla de oro.
Blasphemous fool!
Ah, vaya.
You have sealed your own fate.
Un momento, si me ataca romperás la regla de oro.
Good. I welcome it. You see, the philosopher told me that each time it breaks, Osiris bellows with rage, and his voice shakes the very foundations of the earth. I can only hope one more tremor will lay waste to this fragile place once and for all, and you along with it.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Corre. Porque estoy reventado. Tontiño eres, Bueno, hemos salido de aquí. Hola. Es que me gustaría recuperarme la vida un poquito. Bueno, tira. Por aquí, ¿no? Bueno, por lo menos no tengo que volver aquí. Vamos de chilling, ¿eh? ¿Y el Yayo? El colega. ¿Tengo que ir agachado o qué? Ah, vale, ya sé dónde estoy. Que voy a salir debajo de del templo, ¿verdad? Sí. Ahora carga la ciudad. A correr. Mira aquí. Ya, lo que tú digas. Bueno, pues un reboot más. Pero estamos cerquita de tener el True Ending, supongo. Mientras estoy cenando aquí, estoy tomando una empanadica, torrica. De carne, lógicamente. A ver. Mierda, quería mirar si tenía pasta. A ver. Julia. Esto también. Vale. Lo di lo otro porque no tengo suficiente dinero. Vale. Y no va a estar por aquí. Pero bueno, tenemos ya 3 tablillas, ¿no? Cosa de piedra antigua. Ah, vale. La placa egipcia, la placa romana, que es la que conseguimos. Y falta la griega. Hay que preguntar a Giorgio. Y a Duli. Igual lo sabe Duli. Claro, loca esta.
Ixion turns.
Icciones del final 10. Hola. Giorgio.
Greetings.
Greetings.
My
Hola,
friend.
mamma mía. ¿Dónde se podría encontrar una placa griega?
And in a city full of Romans, you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, ah, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman name. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take Hades and call him Pluto, Persephone, Proserpina. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgius the Roman. I accept the world is Roman now. Plus, I have no hair left to pull. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Duli.
Ajá.
He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes shiny things, especially those that once belonged to my people. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him, in his cell, just opposite the Temple of Demeter.
Vale, gracias. Frente
I
al
hope that
templo
our
de
paths cross
Demeter.
again.
El templo de Demeter era este, que hemos ido antes aquí. Entonces... Aquí. ¡Oh, la tiene ahí!
Hello? Hello? Have we met before?
Sobre esa placa de tu celda.
Do you like it? It's shiny, innit? It makes me happy just looking at it.
¿Me la puedo quedar?
But if I gave it to you, then I wouldn't have it anymore, and I'd be sad.
Lo necesito para algo importante.
But it's mine, and I really like it. I want to keep it.
Vale, ¿qué hace falta para que me lo des?
Well, if you get me out of here, then I wouldn't need it anymore because I'd already be happy. Then you could have it, and you'd be happy too.
Sencio no va a soltarte, pero tal vez si tuviéramos un nuevo magistrado...
Like Galerius? He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything.
Solo necesito que todo el mundo vote a Galerio.
Yeah, Galerius will let me out. Then you can have my plaque and everyone will be happy.
Habla de tu tesoro.
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said if anything ever happened to him,
Eso me
I had
acuerdo.
to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius
¿Será la llave para la...?
and Ek.
A ver, me parece bien.
Bye bye.
Tengo que... Ya. Tenemos que hacer que... Vale. Ah, vale. No la... Y Galerio está allá, vale. Pero quiero antes... entrar en el aljibe.
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
Sí.
Well,
Venga, va. Déjame tranquilo, anda. ¿Este es el pocho? Este es el bueno, ¿no? Yo diría que sí. Hola, bonito. Peche, peche. Por aquí. Hola. Es que el colgante ya lo tenemos, pero bueno. Hola. Tiene que haber entonces por aquí un... cofre cerrado, puede ser. Ese cofre ya lo hemos cogido. O podemos cogerlo de nuevo, la verdad, pero bueno. Son más... Joder. ¿Cómo respiraste, cabrón? ¿Quieres subirte aquí? Ahí. Que es mucha pasta. Vamos a ver. Dice que arriba. Arriba donde está la chorba, pero... Me encanta cada manera de subir, ¿eh? O sea, quería investigar un poquito más aquí. Sencilla. Y debe ser el tesoro, ¿eh? Hola, sencilla, vamos a soltarla, a ver.
Who are you?
Que aquí tú no me ha enviado a nadie.
We. What?
Lo siento, pero si dejo que te vayas todos morirán.
I hate you. I spit on you.
Ajá, vale, sí, lo que tú digas. ¿Podemos soltarla? A ver qué pasa. ¿Y si los reúno a todos para que puedan escapar de las circunstancias?
There's no time. Wait.
Venga, te voy a liberar.
Oh, thank you. Now follow. Wait. Did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
Míralo. El problema es que sabe las cosas, ¿sabes?
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she?
A ti te lo voy a decir.
So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it?
Sabías que había una forma de escapar y hasta encerraste tu propia hija para meterlo en el secreto. ¿Por qué?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I have grown attached to all this. My title, my beautiful villa, the sun on my face, the music of birds chirping. And as long as this day keeps repeating itself, I get to enjoy it all, over and over again, for eternity. Don't you see? I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely. To cheat
Y la otra detrás,
death.
en plan de...
I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods. Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself?
Es decir, que me despediste, ¿qué
Of
tal?
course. There's no way you could have succeeded. Every soul who has ever found themselves here has broken the golden rule eventually. It is inevitable. Man will always sin sooner or later. Any idiot could tell you this. But where others might see tragedy, I saw opportunity. As I told you the first time we met, I found a way to cheat death. By reliving the same day
Colega, estás
over and
muerto
over
ya.
again forever. And I will continue living long after your dust.
A ver cómo sales de esta mediante el engaño.
Do you really think you can take on a Decurion with that flimsy little bow?
Podría, pero dejaré salirse con la suya.
Who? Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
Se aplica la norma.
The many shall suffer
I have his
for the
key.
sins
I
of
can
the
open the
one.
gate. Come on, we have to go.
I have to go.
What's happening to you? That light.
Ah, claro que me envía al otro lado.
Right.
Es que no puede matarlo, tío. Habla con... ¡Hostia! ¡Este es nuevo!
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al. Well, here I am.
Este ya lo hemos visto.
Funny you should ask. I was just reading an old tablet I found. It described an event about 2000. Freed an imprisoned woman named Scintilla, who then murdered her captor, breaking some kind of ancient law. It's apparently the only... What? Let me... God, why does this writing... I've spent a lifetime... This is... So you're saying... I get...
¿Por qué no nos hagamos aquí? A ver.
Maybe we can escape through the same aqueduct Scintilla used, if we can find it.
Está aquí, en el Fiverr, sígueme. Es otro final, tú. Esto es bueno. ¿No viene el otro detrás o qué? Igual me...
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else is ever lured into this temple.
Me parece correctísimo. Buena idea.
You go on ahead. I'll be there soon.
Vámonos de aquí. Oye, qué bueno. El problema es que no escapan el resto, ¿no? Claro, por matar al otro se condenan. ¿Estará ahí la Karen? Que no es Karen, es que es... ¡Sí que está! Hostia, qué bueno.
You're back. But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
Lo he encontrado, llegará un momento.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
He descubierto que tu nombre era Escaronte, o era Kerthi.
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
¿Quién eres?
You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time.
¿Cuál es esa verdad?
That you died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here. My role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been to assist the chosen to cross the threshold from the land of the living to the land of the dead.
¿Como he muerto?
Usually, when people do not remember how they died, it is because they suffered a terrible trauma. Most souls would rather not remember. Ask yourself honestly, do you really want to know?
La verdad es que sí, ¿no?
As you wish. You were murdered. You were exploring an old tomb.
Me mató Al,
when you
¿verdad?
discovered a cache of forgotten relics, including 2 silver coins of ancient origin. Unfortunately, as you emerged into daylight, you were set upon by 2 thieves. A nearby hiker saw the scuffle break out and leapt to your aid, trying to help you recover your bounty. You both fought bravely, but your assailants were armed, and you were not. There was nothing you or your ally could have
Hostia,
done.
bueno, entonces, a ver,
He
no creo que me
died
matará
instantly
Al.
at the scene, and you followed a few hours later. That man's name was Al Wood.
Vale.
You were each in possession of a sacred coin, called Charon's Opal by some. And so it was my duty to bring you here.
¿Qué tienen especial estas monedas?
Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans burying their dead with a coin in their mouths to pay the ferrymen for passage across the river. Well, those stories contained a seed of truth, but not any coin would do. A long time ago, my master created 1,000 silver coins and had me distribute them across the world. My orders were simple. Whenever a person died in possession of a coin, I was to locate them and ferry them here.
¿Por qué?
That is a question you would have to ask him, if that were still possible, in light of the path you have chosen. I am just his servant, doing his bidding. Only now, I find myself bereft of purpose. You see, the coins on you and Al were the last of the 1,000 in existence. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course.
¿Puedes devolvernos a la tierra lo de los vivos?
I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an event 2,000 years ago. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant with the help of, well, my new friend here. I know how crazy that sounds.
Maybe not that crazy. That woman. I don't suppose her name was... Scintilla?
How could you... What?
She left a tablet of her own. I stumbled across it while I was waiting here. I think she meant for you to read it.
Oh.
Here, take a look.
Check a look. A ver.
I don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but I want you to know that I will never forget you, or what you did for me. It pains me that so many dear friends were not so fortunate. Ulpius, Sentia, Lucretia, Horatius, Galerius, poor Dooley, and the others. But please understand, their blood is on my hands, not yours. I will live with the consequences of my actions, and all I can do is move forward, trying to show others the same compassion you showed me. I promise you that saving my life will not be for nothing. Scintilla.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story, but first, you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Vámonos a casa. The one that got away. Final 2. Oh. El final tocho es el de ir a por Hades, seguro. ¿Cuántos podrían haber sobrevivido si tú no te hubieras enfrentado al dios del inframundo? ¡Qué guay! Segundo final. ¿Cuánto llevo? Yo creo que me da tiempo a hacer otro más. ¿Puedo sacarlo esto ya? Joder, que lo hemos visto 20 veces ya. Una. Esta es la segunda. Venga, va. O sea, este es el final más agradable. A ver, me da pena por sencilla que... Eso. La movida es que ahora la cosa de sencilla no la tengo, ¿verdad? No. No te la quedas, claro. Porque termina el juego. O sea, habría que traer a todo Dios aquí. Vale, entonces, ahora. Sencilla, te prometo que te sacaré de aquí. Lo que tendremos que hacer luego es traerlos a todos, ¿no? Tiene una llave él, pero no sé cómo sacársela. O cómo avisarlos en su defecto. A ver, espérate. Aquí tú, tal.
Wait, what?
A ver, sencilla.
You're back.
Y si los reúno a todos para que vuelvan a escapar, tal.
There's no time. Wait. What? It's no use. You're me.
Ya. Hay que hacer algo con esto, tío. Hacia el otro lado, mejor, ¿no? Yeah. Vamos. Bueno. Well. Una pena que el arco dorado mate, ¿sabes? Bueno. Es un poco lo que es. Y os he visto cómo carga el mapa ahí. Qué bueno. Vamos a hablar con Galerio. Es que el problema es que si hablo contigo, con Horacio... ¿A quién vas a votar? No. ¿Puedo ayudar?
I appreciate the thought. But you're new here, and I just can't see how you could make an impact in the time between now and the election this afternoon. In any case, if you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia, the Vestal Priestess. She'll be overseeing proceedings.
Okay.
Well, as I always say, I threaten if you... Because what's done is done.
Sí. A ver, no.
Walk
Que no, que esta. Sí, que sí, que sí, que sí, que sí.
All right.
No me tienes mucho que decir. Es que a mí me jode esto, ¿sabes? No puedes avisar a la familia o lo que sea. De... ¿Galerio está ahí abajo? Oh, está en el campo. No sabía que había una persona ahí. Vale. ¿Cómo paso aquí? Hola. No. Ah, coño, tú eres Galerio, joder.
Friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
Revivo el mismo día una y otra vez.
You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus.
¿Cómo Sísifo? ¿En qué sentido?
Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again, for all eternity. Just like you.
Joder.
Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
Vaya. Continúa.
Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
Gracias, Galerio.
Anytime, friend. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Pero Galerio, quiero hablar contigo.
Salve again, my Sisyphean friend. Now, what's on your mind?
Es panísima, Galerio, tío. ¿Has pensado en presentarte candidato?
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. And that's good enough for me.
Dudo que Maleolo vaya a ayudar a Delhi. Es Duty, pero bueno.
And how could you know that? I mean, I don't like the man, but I don't see how you could know a thing like that.
Tienes razón, da igual.
I've bounced the idea, but...
A ver. ¿Por qué Dooley está en prisión?
Because Sentius put him there. Poor Dooley was just wandering around looking for some imaginary treasure. Now a magistrate accused him of being a thief. It's nonsense, of course. Dooley's the most harmless man you'll ever meet. But Sentius really has it in for him, for some reason.
Vamos a ver de otra cosa.
Gladly.
De que me piro.
All right, friend. Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
Vámonos de aquí. Vamos a hablar con Equicia. Claro, porque ahora mismo... Placa griega... Esto me gustaría saber cómo pillar al Maleolo, tío. ¿Podemos probar a hablar...? Claro, que porque para esto hay que provocar las elecciones. Hola, amigo. Vamos a ver si podemos hablar con la mujer. Aquí no hay nada, ¿no? Jarrón griego. Zanahorias son lilas. ¿Cómo? Las zanahorias son lilas. Antes de que se cultivaran las zanahorias y naranjas de la autoridad. Anda. No sabía yo que eran lilas. Nota de Julia. Julia y Julia a sus secuestradores, Maleolo y Claudia. Los maldigo hasta lo más profundo. Cuando leáis esto, ya habré muerto. Prefiero morir a pasar otro día como esclava por mis deudas con vosotros. Que los buitres picoteen vuestros hígados en el tártaro durante toda la eternidad. Te vas a sorprender. Ah. Bueno.
A day of celebration, I hereby announce a day of celebration in Ovania.
Y está la otra ahí. A ver si podemos hacer algo. Hola.
You're not supposed to be in here.
¿Podemos hablar?
Talk. What business could you possibly have with me? I think a better question is, why am I being interrogated by a stranger who just barged into my villa? I have quite enough marriage trouble already, without having to explain to my husband why I am receiving strange men in private.
Correcto. ¿Qué haces enterrada? Vas a ver.
My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much. An intriguing proposition. Go on.
Creo que Maleolo no es quien dice ser. Vale. No siempre conoce nada.
You know, some time ago, when he still cared,
Sí.
I let it go.
Vale. Oye, que traten tan mal a una mujer tan hermosa. A ver, voy a decirles.
Oh, aren't you charming? I'm quite sure my husband would seethe with impotent rage if he overheard you say that. I love it. It seems our interests are aligned. I imagine knowing his true identity will give me the leverage I need to manage him appropriately. But first, I need you to do something for me.
Dale. ¿Qué quieres?
I want you to bring me
Bueno, tengo un huevo y medio.
Just one small urn should do it. Oh, don't look at me like that. I know this must be hard for you to wrap your sweet little pleb head around. So what do you need me to spell out?
No tengo nada que preguntar, o sea...
So you'll help me?
Tengo un poco de vino aquí.
Thank you. Here's the letter.
Gracias. Quincio asomada Claudia. Pasó un tiempo desesperado pensando que estaba ahí atrapado hasta el fin de mis días. Pero entonces te conocí y descubrí que siempre y cuando esté contigo, estoy donde debería estar. No alcanzo a expresar con palabras el afecto que siento por ti y por ello realizo este gesto en tu honor. Me convertiré en magistrado de la ciudad para así gobernar con sabiduría y fuerza contigo a mi lado.
Now, perhaps you can tell me who Quinctius really is.
Según esta carta de recompensa del emperador Nerón, él es quien provocó los incendios de Roma del año pasado.
What? He's... Oh no, that's quite a lot more serious than I imagined. I only wanted some leverage over him, not to destroy him. Give me that immediately. Nobody else must know.
No.
What? No.
No te he engañado, hemos hecho un cambio.
Me, you mendacious little stirkers.
No te he mentido.
It was a lie of a mission. You were planning this all along and you deliberately concealed it. May Jupiter cut you down.
Tengo que irme.
I curse you. I curse your life and mind and memory. May you be unable to walk or eat or drink. May this drag you to the depths. This is outrageous.
Cállate. Vamos a hablar con el Maleolo. Con el... ¿Cómo se llamaba? Quincio, ¿no? Hola, Quincio, de nuevo.
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been...
Sí. Quiero que te retires tus elecciones. Así que eres tú, Quincio.
My name is Marcus Malleolus.
Ya. Ta.
And I liked...
Ya. Todavía no puedo probar, pero lo haré.
Unlikely, because it's...
Quiero que te retires.
Are you insane? You barge into my villa uninvited and then make outrageous demands? Why would I withdraw from an election I'm bound to win?
Porque sé que eres Quincio, tu mujer me dio tu carta de amor y Nerón quiere verte muerto.
So, it finally caught up with me. I suppose that makes you... what? One of Nero's assassins?
No lo soy, por suerte para ti.
So, you're not going to kill me?
No sé si te retiras de las elecciones de inmediato y condonas las deudas a quienes tienes atados con ellas.
Oh, so much work and money. Oh, well, if I do it, you'd let me live?
Sí.
Fine. Ruling this cesspit of a city would have been beneath me anyway. I'll have Domitius notify the priestess of my withdrawal and release those two from debt bondage.
Vamos.
There. You got what you wanted. Now, please, leave my villa and never speak to me again.
Vamos. Let's go. Maleocito. Hola, Domitio. Te saltan por encima. Vamos a hablar.
Yes, sir. I've made a decision to release Julia and Ulpius and withdraw from the election. I want you to go and inform Equitia.
Sir? Are you under duress, sir?
I've just had a change of heart.
But you on track to be magistrate, sir. All that work, all that money, wasted.
Those are my orders. Carry them out.
As you wish, sir.
Vamos a seguirle. ¿Qué pasa, Domicio? Domicio. Mira cómo anda.
Priestess, Malleolus has decided to withdraw from the election.
Oh, well, that's surprising. But thank you for telling me. I'll let everyone know.
No. Joder. Ya lo sé, coño.
On your best behavior, I trust?
I have an announcement. Malleolus has withdrawn his candidacy from today's election. Unless any new challengers are nominated by nightfall, Sentius will be re-elected magistrate by default. That is all.
Equidia.
A new face.
No, la verdad es que no, venga. ¿Te puedo hacer las preguntas sobre cómo es? No. ¿Cómo van las elecciones?
Well, Malleolus has withdrawn for some unknown reason, so unless somebody else is nominated by the end of the day, Sentius will win by default. Why do you ask?
Quiero nominar a Galerio.
Oh, what a good idea. He is a virtuous and decent man after all. I happen to agree he'd make a wonderful magistrate.
¿Quién puede votar?
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
¿Entonces puedo votar?
Well, you're not a citizen yet. So, no, I'm afraid not. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
¿Cómo qué?
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
Vale, ¿cuál ha sido tu papel?
I'm responsible for announcing it.
Correcto. Comenzar ya. Vamos a hablar de otra cosa.
Certainly.
Vamos a hablar del inframundo.
I beg your pardon?
Livia tenía razón, estamos en el
Oh
inframundo.
my. That is quite a lot to take. Let's
Ya.
see. If that is indeed the case, We don't have much to go on.
Sí, sí.
Hercules, the
Ya me lo
Hercules
contaste, esto
and
sí.
so it
Vale, continúo con lo mío.
may fortune.
Vale, vamos a hablar. ¡Horacio!
Here
¿Qué
is
tal,
proof
colega?
of it.
Eres
For
pana,
now.
¿no? ¿A quién vas a votar?
Not that it's any of your business, but my loyalty is and
Ah,
always will be.
Sergio, vale, vale, vale.
All right.
Hasta luego, Mari
Quite an
Carmen.
impressive bow you have
Eh,
there. Just like Diana's.
sí, qué cosas, ¿eh? Placas robadas, placa griega. Tienen que hacer que se haga popular. Ya. Virgilio. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo te va?
Ah, a new face.
Sí, ¿a quién vas a votar?
Galerius, definitely.
Cojonudo.
All right.
Vale.
Nice to
Nada, ya te tenemos, ¿no? Vale, tenemos un voto. Hola.
Wonder how much one of these statues. Hello there, friend. May I say?
No.
Are you well?
Ya le contó toda la historia que me había
Have you
hecho,
been
¿no?
out in the sun too long? You seem
Sí, ¿a quién vas a votar?
absentious, I suppose. Stability is always good for business.
Me gustaría que votaras a Galerio.
Yeah? And what's he gonna do for me? He's nothing.
¿Cambiarías su convicción con un regalo?
Certainly. For a few thousand denarii.
¿Seguro que no romperá la regla de oro?
Nothing illegal about it.
No tengo esa cantidad.
Well, that's a shame.
Vaya.
Very well.
O sea... Necesitamos paz. Esta es una mujer, no puede votar. ¡Ay, el notas este!
Greetings and
Greetings.
hello again, my sartorial.
¿Quién vas a votar?
Galerio.
Galerio, let's go. Galerio, venga, vale. Hasta luego, Galerio. Debería de coger dineros. Pero ¿quién tiene...? ¿Dónde cogía yo los dineros? Ah. ¿Cuánto tengo? 1900. 1000 denarios. Sí que tengo ese dinero, coño. No me piden 1000. Tengo esa pasta, ¿no? Tengo 1900 denarios.
Whatever's in that great temple up there. Hello there, friend. Wow.
Vale.
Now you're talking. I'm interested. How about 100 denarii?
1000 denarios.
Oh, that's a little excessive, don't you think? It's not the bow of Ulysses we're talking about.
Considero la inversión, las pocas monedas a cambio de riqueza es más allá de lo imaginable.
All right. But I'm going to need you to tell me before I pay up.
En ese caso, no me fío de ti.
Well, how do I know I can trust you?
La regla de oro no me permite incumplir mis promesas.
I suppose you're right. All right, you drive a hard bargain, but here's your money.
Vamos.
The location of that bow.
Está en el santuario de Diana.
What? But I already knew that, you imbecile. Everyone knows that. I can't take that golden bow because stealing from the goddess in her own shrine would break the golden rule. You promised to tell me where I could get one of my own.
Podrás llevártelo y podrás quedártelo hasta el fin de los tiempos.
What is this? Some kind of joke?
Tú me has dado lo que quería y yo te he dado lo que te prometí.
I don't believe this is happening.
Me encanta una buena laguna.
Don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me.
Vaya. Vamos a buscar a más peña. Tiene que haber aquí el del reuma. Tiene que estar por algún lado. Porque claro, si le damos a selecciones ahora... ¿Qué coño está el otro guarda? A ver si lo veo por aquí. No robes nada, no hagas daño a nadie. Es evidente que lo escribieran, no tuvo tiempo de terminarlo. Joder. Pues no lo veo, tío. Tiene que hablar con todo Dios. Bueno, si no se presenta el otro, igual tiene más posibilidades. Vamos a hablar con Equicia a ver qué pasa. Galerio. Es buena gente. El de ahí arriba también, es verdad.
Salve.
Coño, aquí estás.
Citizen.
Hola.
Name's Grufius.
¿A quién vas a votar?
Galerius.
¡Vamos!
Fine. See you.
Vale. Si le mandamos curar y todo el rollo, pues podremos subir por aquí, supongo, ¿no? Vamos a hablar con el otro lado. Vamos a hablar con la señora, venga. Si me pone que ya tengo que hablar con ella, yo supongo que tengo que hablar con ella. ¿Llevamos una hora? No lo creo. ¿Cuándo son las elecciones? Elecciones. Sí, podemos comenzar ya.
As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk, but I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason.
Solo quiero acabar con esto.
Well, I wouldn't describe impatience as a good reason exactly. Yes, I have overheard some rather unpleasant arguments. The last thing we need here is additional
Que antes de tu
conflict.
conflicto hay que
Very
hacerlo.
well. I'll get things started
Podrías
right
haberle
away.
dicho directamente que estás con la última placa y ya está, ¿sabes? Vamos a ver qué pasa, tío. Sí, te oigo, te oigo.
Citizens, it is time. Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
Time to go to the theater.
Ojo. ¿Vienen todos? No. Ah, que van al anfiteatro ese de allá, ¿verdad? Aquí. Mira Galerio. ¡Ole, mi Galerio! Tú puedes. Y el hijo de puta este. Vale, este ya lo tenemos. Este es un cabrón. Este es bueno también, 1, 2. A ver quién gana, tío. Esperar a todos. ¿Se han quedado atascados o qué? Ah, vale, ahí viene el otro. Es verdad que este también es pana. 1, 2, 3. Frente a otros dos que son del otro señor. El suicida faltaría. Ese es del otro señor. Sí que tardan, ¿eh? ¿No viene el domicio este o el...?
The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helver. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Hay que hacer todo eso, tío.
Sentius.
Virgil.
The man who put a stop to the threats I've been receiving. Galerius.
Rufius.
The man who treated my rheumatism. Galerius.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Gallus Galerius.
¿Cómo te quedas, eh?
It has been decided. Magistrate Galerius, would you like to make a brief address?
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you
Y el
down.
otro payaso
I'll
ahí.
need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
Horacio es este. Corriendo, 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 corriendo. Ya lo sé, tía. O sea, por favor. O sea, vamos a ver. Tío, vas a flipar. Te van a liberar. Después. Te comes un colín. Te comes un colín. Vas a liberarlo.
Fortune smiles on you today, Julius. Magistrate Galerius here has ordered your
Una
release.
tablilla.
You're going to let me out of here?
I'm sorry it took so long, my friend.
Pichi.
And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a
Pichi.
newcomer. So be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
I will. I will. Thank you, Galerius. I'm so happy.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georgius I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home.
Vamos.
I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
Hello? I'm Dooley. Magistrate Galerius said I should thank the newcomer. Are you the newcomer?
Yes, sí lo soy.
Oh, it is you. Then, thank you. You're a big helper. I was locked up, but they let me out again. I'm so happy.
De nada.
You can have my shiny plaque. if you
Vamos,
want,
tenemos
and maybe
4
you
ya.
can help me find my treasure. My friend Hannibal used to look after me, and he said, but before that,
Sí, ¿qué era?
he gave me a key to the cisterns.
Ya, esto sí.
Please help me find it. Please.
Te ayudaré.
Oh, thank you. Here's the key.
Llave del aljibe superior. El aljibe superior está debajo del gran templo. La entrada debe andar por aquí.
Hope you find it. In the cisterns, way up high, Hannibal said. Oh, look over there. Something shiny. Is it treasure? Maybe it is treasure. I can
Va.
see it from myself.
La placa primero.
So pretty.
Como tenemos las 4 ya.
Maybe nobody wants it.
A ver, me interesa lo del aljibe también, ¿eh? Ojo. ¿Dónde coño está? Claro, pero es que no sé dónde está.
The many shall suffer.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué ha pasado? ¿Por qué? Ah, porque Dooley ha robado, gilipollas. Me cago en la puta. El puto Dooley, tío. Es... Cuidado. Me cago en su puta madre. Tonto de los cojones, ¿eh? Digo, ¿qué coño ha pasado? Es que ha robado un tesoro brillante, no sé qué. Y se puso a robarlo. Me cago en su calavera. Pues tenemos las 4 placas. A ver. ¿Cuánto llevamos, tío? Porque... llevamos 1:04. Me gustaría ir al aljibe superior, tío. Ya está.
Salve, friend.
Sí, se va a romper alrededor dentro de poco. Necesito que digas a todos, excepto a Sencio, que se preparen para entrar rápidamente en el aljibe superior cuando el suelo esté a punto de derrumbarse. Oh.
What? That's a big ask. But something tells me You're not kidding. All right, I'm gonna stick my neck out and believe you. But I doubt I'll be able to gather more than a handful of people.
El aljibe superior es donde iba, ¿no? A ver, espérate. Porque a lo mejor sacamos el tercer final y luego el cuarto. El aljibe superior es donde está encerrada la otra, ¿verdad?
Hey,
Que
you're not
sí.
thinking about going into the cistern, are you? Whoa.
Venga, déjame. El dorado. 107 putas flechas. A ver, ya. Me hace mucha gracia como corren, tío. Es un super mono. De nada. El superior es este. ¿No? ¿Eh? ¡Epa! Yo no sé cómo no me mato, de aquí, pero bueno, venga. ¿Es aquí? ¿Van a venir o no? A ver. Porque seguro que eso, sacamos el tercero, que es...
Who are you?
No. Bla, bla, bla. He dicho a Galero que traiga aquí todo el mundo cuando se rompa la regla de oro para que ellos también puedan escapar.
How did you know? Wait, did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me.
Ya,
You
esto ya lo
distract him.
sabemos.
Stay
Venga.
right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
Ahí viene el otro. La la, la la la, la la.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she?
Behind you. Eres lo peor, ¿sabes?
So that is how it's going to be. Oh well. So, you discovered my secret. So what?
Mira.
What are you going to do?
Estoy aquí detrás.
Why? Isn't it? And
Bla, bla,
I
bla.
have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely. To cheat death. I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods. Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself?
A ver cómo sales de esta mediante el
Do you
engaño.
really think you can take on a Decurion?
Voy a dejarte por salir con la tuya.
Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
Ah, but yeah. Y le quita la llave mientras está ardiendo. Es increíble esta señora.
The many shall suffer
I have his
for the
key.
sins
I
of
can
the
open the
one.
gate. Come on. We have to go. The others should be right behind us. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
¡Toma! Vale. Pues hemos sacado a la gente, que eso también está guay. Y falta el último final. Ahí viene el Al. ¡Hola! Soy Al.
Hi there.
Bla, bla, bla.
Well, funny.
Blah,
I
blah,
was just
blah,
reading. It described
blah, blah.
freedom. It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive, hunting down.
Sí.
Apparently, Scintilla and a handful of other citizens managed to escape.
Escaparon, toma.
The stranger disappeared in a flash of light.
De hecho, era yo.
What?
Encontré tu cadáver colgado. Patati patatá. Sí,
God,
lo que
why
tú
does it
quieras.
expect
Sí,
this
bla,
to-
bla, bla. La actividad es sencilla para matar al hombre que abrió un importante portal del envió al pasado y lo cual impidió que esa
So
forma
you're
se
saying
ocurriera.
Because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this.
Ahora lo entiendes.
I guess you saved my life then, as well as helping a bunch of others to escape. That's a lot to take in.
Claro, la movida es que lo mate otra persona porque así, igualmente, yo tampoco podría haber aparecido. Si lo mato yo, estoy condicionado a que él me hubiera mandado a mí. Pues, vale.
Maybe we can escape through the same aqueduct Centilla used, if we can find it.
Está ahí al lado, tío. Vámonos de aquí. Taca, taca. Vamos a ver con el Caronte. Moverme. El otro cierra la movida, ¿no? Aquí. Taca, taca.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment.
Buena idea. Venga. Qué guay. 2 finales. No creo que me dé tiempo al último, ¿no? Hacemos un capítulo largo para terminarlo. Porque creo creo que se publica jueves, ¿no? Está la Karen. Karen, ¿quieres llamar al encargado o qué?
You're back. But
Sí, lo he encontrado.
why don't you tell me?
Venga.
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
Sí, ¿quién eres?
You
Sí,
can
eso ya
just
lo
help
sabemos.
imagine
Patatín,
that-
patatán. ¿Cuál es la
that you
verdad?
my
¿Cómo he muerto?
most ask
¿Cómo que
or
no?
wise to
¿Qué tiene especiales las monedas?
well, along my or
¿Por qué?
I am just only now. There is nobody else.
Ya, después vamos a tirar a los
I
vivos.
see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never...
Kinda lost track of time in there. And there was a tablet describing an event 2,000 years ago. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant with the help of my new friend here. I know how
Maybe not that crazy.
How could you...
She left a tablet of her own. I think she meant for you to read it. Here, take a look.
Ay, sí, esta es la guay. Esta es la buena, ¿no?
I don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but Octavia, Lucretia, Horatius, Equitia, and I will never forget you, or what you did for us. It pains us that so many of our dear friends were not
Galerio
so
no
fortunate,
fue. Oh.
including Ulpius and Galerius, who heroically tried to rescue Dooley, but never made it back. But there is no point dwelling on what might have been. All we can do is take this gift you've given us and try to show others the same compassion you showed us. We promise you that saving our lives was not for nothing. Centilla et al.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story, but first, you two look exhausted.
Sí,
Sounds
sí.
good to me.
And you? Are you...
Vámonos a casa. ¡Oh, qué pena! Galería Hispana, tío. 3 finales ya tenemos. ¡Qué guay! Y ahora falta el cuarto, que es el más largo, entonces, para sacar. Lo intento hacer en este capi, es que no sé cuánto llevo. Ahora estoy muy hypeado con esto, tío. Yo creo que lo voy a terminar hoy, aunque sea largo el capítulo. Tiene pinta de que va a ser largo, pero bueno. Vamos al obelisco. Me cago en el Tuli este de mierda. Ha provocado que mataran al pobre Galerio, tío. Galerio era amigo, era buena gente, siempre saludaba. Este no es por aquí, ¿verdad? Tengo que quedarme así. Bueno, me puedo lanzar así, ya está. Vamos a... Tacata. Mira el amigo. Vamos a ver. Voy a ir hasta arriba. ¿No? Que es donde está... El gran templo está ahí arriba de todo, ¿no? Sí. Entonces vamos para allá. Bien.
Salve.
Hola, Galerio. Es un puto problema. que este hombre sea amigo de todos. Y ahí está el obelisco, sí. Oye, me encanta, ¿eh? Me está gustando, no, me ha gustado mucho. Ya, se me lo he pasado 3 veces ya, imagínate. Como para no gustarme. Me ha gustado mucho este juego. Ahora para ver el final, a ver cómo coño es, tío. Pero realmente la idea esta y tal es... Como tiene sus recuerdos al Outer Wilds, pero...
Salve, friend.
Hola,
Welcome to life
Octavia.
under the...
Sí, lo que tú quieras. Estoy bien, gracias.
Ah, we've all... I still don't...
Que sí, tengo que ir.
All right.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Ay, Dios mío, el otro también que se quiere matar.
No. No. Ulpius,
That's the...
what?
Why do you...
I know. Please.
I'm sorry.
No tengo
Please,
pasta
help
suficiente, ¿verdad?
Thank...
You...
Bla, bla, bla. Esto ya lo hemos
you
dicho.
don't... It's... If I... No. I am out.
Bueno,
Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love.
Porque no tenemos pasta, ¿no?
I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no!
A mimir. ¿Y ahora qué?
I'll have to let... And I'd bet...
A ver. Vamos. Está la otra llorando ahí. Uy, que se carga. ¿Y quién es entonces? Nergal, supongo. Hades. Osiris. Plutón. O sea, Plutón. O sea, el de verdad es Plutón. Que todos tienen el mismo nombre al final. Pero ese... Claro, ahora Hades. Vale, ahora lo entendí. Depende en la época que te sitúes. Porque al principio es Roma, Plutón. Hades, aquí, que es Grecia. Siguiente. Parece que va a ser egipcio. Osiris se viene. Y Nergal, ahora. Con los tumerios, ¿no? Uf. Vale, esto es lo que decían de... Un momento. Excuse me. Pero acabo de flipar. Esto es lo que decían de que el final con el pasillo blanco era mejor no verlo, tal. Pero bueno. ¿Perdón?
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so brazenly. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
¿Cuál es tu historia?
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know?
¿Eres un dios?
It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey.
Porque pareces un hombre y hablas como un hombre.
My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords. Desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive.
¿Me dejas ver tu forma real?
No. Long ago I swore to Persephone that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that.
¿Y es la mujer de tu izquierda?
This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal. Your gaze lingers too long.
¿Y ese contra tu derecha?
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names.
Caronte?
Kumutubal to the Sumerians,
sí.
Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions.
Vamos a hablar de otra cosa.
As you wish.
¿Qué es este lugar?
It has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago.
Ah, bueno. ¿Cuál fue puesta?
That is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago and continues to this day. You see, long ago, my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless.
¿Me estás diciendo que son alienígenas en realidad?
You all but destroyed yourselves, your two short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpina saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law.
Que sí.
And you called us gods.
Son putos
For a
alienígenas,
time,
tío.
you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation in a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium. My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you, without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting.
Joder, neno.
There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved Proserpina.
¿Quién construyó esta ciudad?
As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives, and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before, and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten.
¿Cómo decidiste quién vendría aquí?
To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived. As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's obol, or as coins for the ferryman. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for, only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock, and Proserpina's along with it.
Joder, ¿cómo se enteraron los humanos de la existencia del inframundo?
It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer, and a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of truth.
Vale, ahora otra cosa. As you wish.
Of course.
¿Tú eres el responsable de la regla de oro?
That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing.
¿Por qué convertir a la gente en oro?
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold.
Se
And when
cubrió
her
ella
prayer
sola
went
de oro.
unanswered,
Madre mía.
she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all, to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity.
¡Qué guay!
Silent golden sentinels.
Suena bien. Así que tú eres responsable de destrozar todas esas vidas.
I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I am the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it.
¿De dónde han salido estos arcos dorados?
When my kin departed, they left behind many relics which I inherited. Consolation prize of sorts. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called Diana. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies.
¿Qué consideras un pecado?
I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not?
Bueno, ese principio no es tan fácil de aplicar como parece. Parece que tampoco lo has entendido mucho.
Enough. You clearly know nothing.
¿Cómo se sabe cuando alguien está pecando?
I'm able to commune with all of the statues in the city. Their ears are my ears, and their eyes are my eyes.
¿Pero Serpine está conectada con las estatuas de la misma forma?
If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask?
Ok. Por nada.
Then what an odd question.
He visto cosas terribles que no consideraste pecado. ¿Por qué dejaste que ocurrieran?
Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations, or are you going to give me an example?
Suicidio, por ejemplo.
Ah, yes. The dead bonds. Taking one's own life is a self-directed act. It is not one that is done to others, however they may be affected by it. Therefore, it cannot be said that one who commits suicide has done anything unto others.
Me parece una forma extremadamente literal de interpretar la regla.
Applying this rule always requires us to interpret the meaning of the words. A literal interpretation helps to minimize the ambiguities of your primitive language.
Si nuestra lengua está llena de ambigüedades, ¿no significa eso que la regla es inherentemente subjetiva y poco fiable?
Supposing you're right, then my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
No, por supuesto que no. Pero tengo razón y lo sabes.
Then your desire to be right outweighs your desire to survive. You will make a fine statue.
Uf. Me he calentado. Sacar el arco dorado. Let's go.
Do you really think you can wound me, a god, with that primitive weapon?
Sí. Vamos a averiguarlo, ¿sí?
Pathetic.
En tus aposentos, ¿no?
Shall suffer for the sins of the one.
¿Son estos? ¿No? Bueno, puedo pasar. Ay, 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 ay. Tengo que ir para allá. Ah, no, Sencio. No me jodas, que tengo que volver a hacerlo todo. ¿Dónde está? Vale, ¿y ahora qué? ¿Qué hago? Vuelve atrás en el tiempo, enséñale a Plutón que tienes la corona de Plutón. Joder. Manosito. Madre mía. Agua, 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 agua. Por donde bajo, tío. Por ahí. No. Un momento. Ahora. Tengo que volver a darle esto, tío, otra vez. A ver. ¿Pero puedo volver a entrar o no? Porque las placas las he colocado, las he perdido ya. Vale, pues espérate. No.
All right.
¿Tengo las placas o no? No. Lo que quiere decir que tengo que volver a conseguirlas. ¿Verdad? Que tenemos el arco, la corona. A ver. No sé si se conservará el... Sí, brilla, menos mal, tío. Es que, a ver, si tuviera que volver a hacerlo todo, pues... Sí que parábamos aquí el vídeo. Porque a lo mejor me llevaba todo el rato, pero es que está el obelisco brillando y ya digo, vale, vale, ok. No, no quiero saber nada, ¿eh? Hola. Plutón, go. Hades, let's go. ¡Ay, pa! ¡Me quemo! Osiris. Y... Ergat. Es que esto es una fumada que flipas, tío.
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself.
Ya. Sí. Cállate, cállate. ¿Ves esto? Es la corona de Proserpina.
I would recognize that anywhere. And yet my beloved still wears hers. What is this? How did you come by it?
Te la robé después de matarla en otra línea temporal.
You vile, despicable creature. Why would you do such a thing? And worse still, boast about it.
No quería matarla, pero si no pones fin a la regla de oro, volveré a hacerlo. Esto puede seguir con esto todo el día. Acaba con ella. Ah.
You have put me in an impossible position. If I refuse, you will murder her. And yet, if I agree, I will lose my wager and return to Elysium humiliated and alone.
Es la idea.
Perhaps you are cleverer than you appear, mortal. I do not see that I have a choice in this. Your treachery and savagery have opened my eyes like nothing I have witnessed in 3,000 years. And now you have shown me your species' true colors. And I see that Proserpina was a fool to have ever believed in you at all. This has gone on too long.
Psycho.
It's time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you. But know this. If I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
Solo queremos volver al mundo.
Very well. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest.
¿Por qué?
Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready?
No me queda otra. Venga, todo listo.
You had best pray our paths never cross again, mortal.
¡Buah! Lo hemos conseguido. Me siento muy orgulloso, ¿eh? Al. Coño.
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Vení en tu busca.
Here I am. Know who you are. I barely remember how I got here myself. Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I guess I lost track of time, learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule. They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared, said barely a word, and entered the temple of the mysterious god, this one here, and demanded an audience. And the doors just opened up to him. Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook, and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him, and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
De hecho era yo,
What? Oh, I see. For a moment there I thought you were serious. Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
Sí, justo detrás de. A ver. Vamos a ir con Caronte también. Vuelve al río. Ojo. Ojo. Yo pensé que me quedaba atrapado, Ahí te dejo, no te rayes.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure
O sea que aunque no hable contigo, ya me lo dices igual, ¿no? Vale. Qué guay. Me siento contentillo. He visto nacer esta hierba. El popping. Mira. Mira Caronte, me cago en tu puta madre. ¿Qué haces aquí?
You're back. But
Lo he encontrado, llegará un momento.
why don't you tell me what you discovered?
Recuerdo haberte conocido desde hace 2000 años.
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
No.
You can just call me Charon. I do not. That most.
Ya.
That you do. My rule.
Como muerto.
Most ask you.
Lo de no quiero saber dónde está. Luteto dijo que mi moneda y la de Al eran los últimos que existían. ¿Eso qué te dice?
It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company.
Vale. ¿Qué tienen de especial estas monedas? ¿Puedes devolvernos a tirar a los vivos?
I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. And there was a tablet describing an oracle who confronted a god and undid an ancient curse.
Sounds like quite a story. And I look forward to hearing all about it. But you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Vámonos. Este es el canónico. Un año más tarde. ¡Oh! ¡Wow! ¿Ese es Al?
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again. I read your book, and what the critics said about it. I guess they weren't ready for your theories about the underworld. Anyway, after everything you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news. So after we got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius' tablet, and I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you, I just really wanted you to see this for yourself. Why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
A ver. Ah.
Oh, hello.
¿Cómo?
You're finally here. Remember me?
¿Cómo?
It's a crazy story. After you disappeared, Karen appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours. Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second chance at life.
Ahora estás con Equicia.
I know. I can't believe my luck either. But we're
Qué gran.
engaged and living
Galerio
together.
Span.
We're planning to get married next spring. If you're going to be around, we'd love to see you there.
Ah, claro, me encantaría. Cuenta conmigo. ¿Qué es de tu vida?
Oh, I used Karen's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course. It's hard work, but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Me alegra haberte visto de nuevo, Galerio.
Of course, there's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you, so you'd better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
Equicia.
You're here. It's lovely to finally meet you. Galerius told me all about you.
Me alegra de verte.
So, you're the hero who somehow vanquished the last
Habrá
of
que
the
hablar con
Roman
todos,
gods.
¿no?
As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work.
Uy, Esencio,
I'm just
¿puede estar
teasing.
aquí?
Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable. Galerius and I are engaged and expecting. We've just bought a lovely villa in the countryside with room for a large family, and Dooley too, of course. It feels like the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn, and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us, for all of us.
¿Cómo está Livia?
Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself.
Yo me encargo. Me alegro de verte de nuevo.
See you at the wedding, I hope.
Es que Dooley me da una pereza terrible. ¿Y esto? El horario.
There he is.
Hello, I'm Dooley.
Recuerdo quién eres. Dooley.
Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. Thank you for getting us out of the bad place. I didn't like it.
Siento que no hayas encontrado el tesoro.
Oh, I forgot about that. I like my box now. Galerius got me a box that tells stories. It's my favourite thing.
Me alegra verte feliz. ¿De tu vida?
I live at Galerius and...
Pues me estás que decir exactamente lo mismo. Me ayuda a recordar cómo he olvidado cosas como de cepillarme los dientes. Vale.
Bye bye.
O sea, bueno. La veterinaria, ¿no?
Hey.
Evening.
Horacio. Esencia. Me da un miedo terrible acercarme allí y ver al tonto pollas. Hostia.
I take it you're the Oracle. Thanks for coming.
Quiero verte de nuevo, Cynthia.
Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated with Sentius after what happened. I'm not sure if you heard, but after you drove Pluto off, Proserpina emerged from the Great Temple.
Uh-huh.
She knew right away what none of us had figured out about that psychopath. He'd been keeping my little sister locked up in the upper cistern all that time. But he's been dealt with. He's... you know what? The important
vale, no hay
thing
que
is
verlo.
we'll never see him again.
¿Qué es de tu vida?
Anything I want. I'm a woman of means in a vast new world. I can go wherever and do whatever I please. Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me, because it's just awful out there. Barbarians everywhere.
¿Qué le ha pasado a Esencio?
He's still there, all alone. The last golden statue in the underworld. Trapped in a metal shell, slowly losing his mind until the end of time.
Eternal torment. Just what he deserves, if you ask me.
Una vez me dijo que quería vivir para siempre.
Then I suppose he got his wish.
Me alegra de verte de nuevo.
You too.
Ahora ya estoy más
See you
contento.
around.
Y Horacio se entera ahora de lo que hacía su jefe.
Hi there, I'm Horatius.
Lo sé. Hola,
I
Horacio.
understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life. And reuniting Scintilla with us as well. So, thank you.
¿Qué es de tu vida?
I'm living up north and studying in the military academy in Modena.
No, no shit. Yo pensé que me vestías así porque sí.
The world's changed a lot. But some things stay the same. Would you believe we're still studying military tactics from my time? Alexander the Great, Caesar, Hannibal Barca. Still, I have to keep challenging myself to let go of old ways of thinking and embrace the new. As Seneca wrote, the ones who pioneered our paths aren't our masters, but our guides.
Siento que no podías volver a ver a tu
You
hija.
remembered that. Thank you. I grieved for a time, but that's done. In the words of Epictetus, as those who rode behind triumphant generals remind them they are mortal, remind yourself your precious one isn't one of your possessions, but something given for now, not forever.
Bien dicho.
Thanks.
¿Qué le ha pasado a tu amigo Domicio?
He's not my... Oh, I see what you did there. Good one. He had more trouble adapting than most. He got himself disqualified from the UFC. So he started some kind of underground blood sport tournament, like we had in Rome. Suppose it appealed to people's baser instincts. And they say he made some good coin, killing a bunch of men like that. But his luck finally ran out, and his life along with it. You know what they say. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Domicio palmó, entonces, vale. Parece que lleva su merecido.
You're not wrong.
Me alegra verte de nuevo,
And
Horacio.
you. Farewell.
A ver, la... Lucrezia. Era esta, tío, Lucrecia.
You are here. It's nice to finally meet you.
Hola, Lucrecia.
Lucy is fine. I'm making an effort to blend in, as you can see. We are all
Lucrecia es un
trying
nombre
to keep
guay.
a low profile. If the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life 12 months ago, they'd never leave us alone. Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I hear you drove the last of them off. So...
¿Qué es de tu vida?
I'm studying to get into medical school. As much as I resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive, when it ended, I realized I missed it. So I guess I'll just keep saving the world, if begrudgingly, one patient at a time.
¿Dónde está Julia?
Oh, she didn't make it. She died from poison while you were in the Great Temple. It was very sad. She was a good woman and a friend.
Siento oír eso.
It wasn't your fault. Decius is to blame. He's here somewhere too. Not that anyone would talk to him. I'm not even sure how he got invited.
O sea, no hemos salvado a
You too.
Julia.
Don't be a stranger.
La movida es que lo habíamos mandado... No, a Gallery no lo habíamos mandado, ¿no? Entonces igual Julia podía estar aquí. No voy a volver a hacerlo, ¿eh? ¡Giorgio!
Greetings. You must be the legendary Oracle. It is a sincere privilege to finally make your acquaintance. I am Georgius.
Me alegra verte, Giorgio.
I am told we have you to thank for freeing us from Hades, and for that I am most grateful.
¿Qué es de tu vida,
I am
Giorgio?
reacquainting myself with Greece. It has changed so much over the last 2,000 years, I barely recognize it. This is at once heartbreaking and thrilling. Perhaps one day, once I have seen all of this new Greece and sampled her delights, I will settle down in Santorini in a villa overlooking the Azure Aegean Sea. I hope you will join me there and regale me with the story of how you faced off against the fearsome god of the underworld and won.
Cuenta conmigo. ¿Qué le ha pasado a Fabia?
The poor sweet thing.
Ay,
Perished in
venga
a
ya, tampoco lo
stronghold
hemos
before
salvado.
The rest of us were saved. It is the one regret I have in all
Teníamos que
this.
haberle dicho a Galerio, siento oír eso.
You too, my friend.
O sea, que podíamos haberle dicho a Galerio El filósofo ermitaño, es verdad.
I take it you're the oracle everybody's talking about. It's a pleasure to find
Tengo
you.
curiosidad. Igual lo paso ahora rapidísimo yo a mi rollo. Diciéndole a Galerio que salve a Testa Peña. Ya nos hemos visto antes, aunque no espero que me recuerdes.
We have. I'm sorry, I don't remember. In any case, I'm Philip.
Philip?
I never thought I'd leave that cave, let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century. What a time to be alive. And it seems I have your catabasis to thank for it.
¿Qué es de tu
I'm
vida?
working as a consultant to the Faculty of Classics at Cambridge University, helping fill the odd gap in their knowledge. Not that I need the money, but I do love being around enlightened minds again.
Me alegra haberte visto de nuevo.
My sincere
Hostia, el
thanks
otro...
once again.
El otro guardia también, entonces, estará... ¿Por aquí o no? Espérate.
Some soiree, innit?
Ay, el rancio este.
Good evening.
Livia.
Hello there.
Octavia. Livia, la vieja, es verdad. Cabash.
What is up?
Virgilio.
Hello.
Mierda.
Hello there.
Hola, sencilla.
Oh, I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name. After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and released me, and that monster got what was coming to him.
Lo siento, no tenía ni idea.
Don't worry, nobody did.
¿Qué es de tu vida?
I'm living by myself on a little vineyard in Umbria. It's something Ulpius and I used to talk about doing when we got out, and I thought that's what he would have wanted. But it's been hard. I don't know what I'm doing. And it's just not the same without him.
Ya.
Mostly it just reminds me he's gone.
Siento oír eso.
Oh, it's hardly your fault. I'll be alright. In time.
Me alegra haberte visto de
Thanks.
nuevo.
You too.
Y queda alguien allá al fondo, pero claro. A ver. Sí, que muy bien, que están todos guays, ¿no? O sea, están todos vivitos.
Hello there.
Voy a hablar con todos. ¿Octavia?
Good evening.
Ah, coño, sí, Octavia. ¿Quién era Octavia? Ah, la del suicida, sí.
Evening.
Ya, ya. A ver, Al.
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that.
Bueno.
Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
No. ¿En serio?
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time.
Reconozco esa voz.
Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal.
Ah, bueno, entonces...
And now, a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people, and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention.
Llevabas todo este tiempo susurrándome.
Indeed. Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their tongues, and whisper to you when he was distracted. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows in which I could speak to you without being detected.
Hiciste lo que pudiste. ¿Creaste tú el bucle temporal?
I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. After
¿Eres
witnessing
conservación?
Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath. So I whispered to Sentius in secret, telling him that prayer required to create a portal in my shrine. I knew the danger of humans being corrupted by godly power, and so I put a safeguard in place. I required the creator of the portal to sacrifice their own life, so that it could only be used selflessly to help others. What I did not anticipate is that Sentius would retain his accumulated memories from each previous day, and as a veteran soldier, he had long since shed his fear of death. He quickly discovered that he could, in effect, prolong his own life indefinitely by exploiting the cycle. Of course, once I had taught him the prayer, I could not unteach him, and there was little I could do but wait for someone like you to come along and see him for what he was. We were all fortunate you came along when you did.
¿Qué sido de Plutón?
I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope it stays that way.
¿Qué ha sido de Caronte?
Oh, she inherited dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again. I imagine we all will, one day.
Un placer conocerte.
And you, although it feels like I've known you forever. Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden
Están ahí abajo,
statues
¿verdad?
scattered throughout the city?
Por supuesto.
Good, because they remember you. Well done, my friend. Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the underworld and returned, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
Oh, muy bien. Bravo. 2 horas de capítulo seguro, ¿verdad? ¿Continuar? Me cago en 10. Ahora sí. A ver. Vamos, que más. Vale, pues a ver, lo siento por tal, porque tenemos que acabar. Un mensaje de los desarrolladores. Esperamos que hayas disfrutado con The Forgotten City. Nos encantaría crear juegos incluso mejores en el futuro. Puedes ayudarnos si recomiendas The Forgotten City a un amigo o escribes una reseña. Cuanto más gente juegue nuestros juegos, más subiremos de nivel. ¿Y qué haces? Esperemos enterarte de nuestro siguiente proyecto. Entre nosotros por aquí. Instagram, YouTube, email, bla bla bla. Muy bien. Pues nada, se queda aquí, chicos. A mí me ha gustado mucho, la verdad, ¿eh? Uy. Lo que voy a probar luego en otro momento. O sea, esto es más allá del pasillo blanco, ya. Bueno, eso. Que me ha gustado realmente. Ha estado chuli, sin más, ¿vale? Es un juego guay de historia, chachi. Así que nada, nos vemos en el siguiente, que ya es muy largo esto ya. Venga, adiós. Bello.